Hi guys, my name is Breezy and I wanted to talk today about what it was like for me as a sex worker going through spiritual ascension because it's an emotional topic for me, but the two are not compatible at all, and I wouldn't give up my time as a sex worker for anything because I feel like it formed me and made me a much stronger person, but at the same time I'd never go back to it. And I just want to say I'm really not dissing sex workers at all. Like, I have nothing against these girls. Honestly, some of these girls were like the purest, most beautiful people I had ever encountered. They came from really troubled pasts, and they had a lot of pain and a lot of self-worth issues that needed to be healed. But they were beautiful. They were beautiful on the outside, and they were kind and loving and beautiful of spirit. You know, they were just misguided. And when I was a sex worker, which I was for 2 years, I was highly misguided too. And I just want to talk about my experience doing all of that. So, a little background. I am 24 and I'm currently unemployed because I spent my last 2 years mainly stripping, but also other things. Like, I don't want to go into too much detail or get grody or anything, but I have had sex for money, and I've been a sugar baby, and you know, I've never really admitted that. I've never said that out loud or said to too many people, hey, this is what I've done. But I really think you need to own not your mistakes, because I don't look at it as a mistake. You need to own your choices. You need to own the choices that shaped you into the person that you became today. So yeah, I was mainly a stripper, but I did prostitute a little, and I was a sugar baby. And I was doing that when I met my twin flame. And as any twin flame knows, once you meet your twin in person, you are skyrocketed, activated, right? Like, you start to purge, you start to spiritually ascend. Everything that doesn't benefit your highest self comes up, and it has to be cleansed. So, well, I want to cry talking about this because it's such a subject that's dear to my heart. But I had met my twin flame, and I was in the club dancing, and I was on stage, and beforehand on stage was my happy place. It was like I could dance and be free and be who I am. And I still feel that way sometimes. Like, dancing is my meditation, my groove, my expression. But at the same time, that type of dancing, I was giving myself away. I was giving part of me away that is vital to my being. And it wasn't beneficial to me. These men would take advantage of me so much because they didn't respect me. When you're a sex worker, you're not respected. And as much as I think these girls deserve respect, because I do, we're human beings, we deserve to be treated as human beings, people aren't going to respect us. They're going to push past our boundaries, even if we say, like, hey, I don't do this. Hey, I don't kiss on the mouth. Hey, I don't. These guys will grab us, and they will make us do it anyways. Tangent there. Anyways, I was in the club one day, and I was dancing, and I suddenly felt disgusted. Like, I looked at the men and how hungry their eyes were and how they were looking at me, and they had stripped me of my humanness. They had stripped me of my soul, of who I am as a person. And all they saw was my body. And it hurt. It really hurt. And I didn't realize that before I started spiritually ascending, I didn't realize what it was like to be reduced to an object. And then one day I just did. And I tried so hard to stay in the hustle, to stay in the game, to keep, doing my sex workflow, because it was pulling in good money. I can't even act like it wasn't, like, it was great money. And I think a lesson I learned, a crucial lesson, is that money isn't always worth selling parts of yourself for. And I was never taught that as a kid. So, I'm all emotional. I was in the club one day and I was dancing, and I realized that I felt disgusted with these men watching me, and I felt physically sick, because when you're spiritually ascending, anything that isn't in alignment with your highest good is going to make you literally sick. Like, I would dance and then I'd go in the bathroom and throw up, because that's how out of alignment I was when I was in that environment. But I kept doing it because it was what I knew. It was what I had been taught. My mother was a sex worker too, so it's just the path that made the most sense to me. I'm really emotional over this. It was the path that made the most sense to me, and I tried to force it. Even when I realized that I'm this divine child of God, that I'm this light spiritual being who's here on a mission, I still tried to do something that wasn't in alignment with my highest good. And I think we all go through that. As light workers, as twin flames, when we're shedding what is no longer in alignment with our truest self, we put up a fight. We go out kicking and screaming with everything in us, and that's what I did. I was like, you know what, this is making me money, I'm gonna continue this. And then one day I couldn't. The incident that pushed me over the edge is, I was in the club one night, and I was waitressing. I wasn't even dancing. The environment is bad whether you're dancing or waitressing. I was waitressing that particular night. And there was a guy there who went to put money in my bra. And when he did, he literally reached down my shirt and started playing with my nipples. And I freaked. Like, I didn't freak in that moment, but something in me that night just, like, snapped. And I was like, no, 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 no. I deserve more respect than this. Look, I'm a very sexual person. Like, whether I'm a sex worker or not, like, I'm sexual. That's my being. That's my soul essence. But I'm not sexual to the point where I want to be, without my consent, degraded and dehumanized. The two don't have to coincide. A woman can be sexual, a woman can be sexy, and still be a human with emotions. And that was a big lesson for me to learn. It was really hard, but I think I got there. So, yeah, this guy reached down my shirt, started playing with my nipples. I freaked out, left the club, and I never looked back. And you know, sometimes I miss the pole, I miss the dance, I miss that expression. Because pole dancing in and of itself is a beautiful, sensual expression. But these men, they don't look at it that way. They don't see the beauty behind it. They just, they dehumanize us, and it hurts. Yeah, so as a light worker, I realized that environment was no longer conducive to my spiritual growth, and I got out. And when you're a sex worker for 2 years, you don't have anything else. You have a 2-year gap on your resume. You don't have anything to put on your resume. So I'm struggling with that right now. I'm struggling with accepting that I made this choice for 2 years of my life. But I'm coming to terms with it. Look, no girl deserves to be treated the way these men treat sex workers. And I'm not bashing the sex workers. I'm bashing the people who consume the labor, because they don't realize we have boundaries. Need to calm down for a minute. I guess my overall point is, I know this video was about sex work in particular, but if you're in a situation where you know without a shadow of a doubt you're in an environment that is not conducive to your soul growth, then get out. I don't care. I don't care how your ego thinks you need to be in this environment. If it's not conducive to your soul growth, there is something better for you. There is something beautiful and miraculous waiting for you. And I just wanted you to keep that in mind. Bye, guys.